So Rob, I guess it's just me and you. hey, hey, we finally let the team back up. You know what
Hey,
I
I
mean?
know, right?
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show, everybody.
Nah, dog, we ain't gonna be able to have you as the host. Like,
It's going down.
no,
You know it's going down.
no.
It's
Let's
going
let's
down.
not get banned today.
Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. You are watching Brothers Been 2. I am your boy Crowley representing Jack. Hey, everybody, welcome aboard. We gonna just kind of go back, man. We going off the dome tonight. Damn, man. Introduce yourself, Rob. It's on you.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? As you can see, my name, Red Velvet Macaroni and Cheese and Lemon Pepper is trash. I put this on Facebook 2 days ago. Y'all been beating me all across the head and shoulders, but I will not let go of my point.
Hey,
This is your
macaroni and
boy,
cheese is one of my favorite dishes, homie.
I can't do it, man. It's your boy Rob coming to you from Tampa by way of Bolton. I'm drinking some type of red wine, rosé, man. It's got 10% alcohol, and it's got me feeling amazing. So let's get right to it.
I'm back, niggas. Listen, I missed y'all, man. I really did. We back in effect. You already know. T in the A, straight from La. Let's get right to it. Hey, Mama Swift. Let's get it right already.
You got Auntie on here too. Hey, sister-in-law. You know what I'm saying? we got Swift taking care of some stuff behind the scenes right now.
Yeah, Swift coming back in any second now. You know what I'm talking about?
What's up, y'all? It's Jay Ward coming to you from Shreveport. It is good to see everybody. I got a question I want to ask the brothers, but I might have to ask it later. I don't know yet. But I'm drinking a suicide daiquiri right now. So,
well, I haven't introduced anything in a while, but I'm about to get ready and pull this gentleman out of the bag right now. I don't know if you all can see it. Let me turn it around. But I'm about to pull this gentleman out of, the bag and get it popping. Some of that Crown Reserve.
Hey.
So I have a genuine question that I need to ask. It's just me venting.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
With this question, it's just, we talk a lot about protecting the Black woman, and I just want to know, because we say don't go by what you see on social media. So I don't know. I don't see this on my social media, but do women ever just sit back and be like, man, Black men sure do go through a lot. They go through generations of generational curses, and the man is after them every day, and careers and all that type of stuff. How can I be the simple part of this man's life today? Do they sit back and talk with their friends like, man, how can I be this brother's peace this day? Like how this week? I just want to know, do you guys see any of those posts circulating on your timelines and social mediums? Do you see anything like that? Maybe they have these talks behind closed doors or something like that. I've never personally seen it. So I just want to know, is that something that happens? Like, do women just have like forums about how can I really be impactful and really just be what that man needs? I just want to know. I'm asking for a friend of mine.
I see them, but the women who post them are called pick-me's. For everyone that doesn't know, a pick-me is something that women have used as a derogatory term to call women who they feel do things for the approval of men. And so it has become like the simp version of women is what is. So anyone that says anything that's favorable to a man, they are called pick-me's. And they basically get put into this garbage pile that people get. They trash them and beat them up, beat them down, talk about them, get their pages suspended. So yeah, I see a lot of it where there's women who are genuinely concerned about the welfare and mental stability of the Black man, but they get called pick-me's and get their pages suspended because people don't like them saying that.
Do you think those intentions are pure? Do you feel like women are doing those for selfish reasons, like I'm trying to be in a relationship, so let me be his piece so I can be in a relationship. But do you think it's genuine? Because I think we have genuine conversations about, hey, how can we protect the black woman? But I'm like, where is that same energy for us a lot of times?
Now this is just social media now, so I wanna preface that with saying that things that I see on social media, I take them as like a 5 to 10% representation of what goes on in the actual real world. But at first I thought it was performative, but I actually do think there are women who care about the well-being, mental stability of black men, and not when they're being shot, beat up by the police. I think there are some women who actually care what we go through, but that's not a popular thing to do on social media these days. Is to actually care about the black man, what he's going through, and not see him as a super predator. I think that is not the popular thing to do on social media these days.
That's real.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
What are y'all talking about?
I just asked a general question about, like, do you see any posts circulating, like, with women genuinely concerned with, like, being the good part in a man's life, or like really being like that simple thing in a man's life? And I know we see a lot of posts about like bashing men, and we see a lot of men bashing women, but we've addressed how can we as men protect black women. But a lot of times it's just like the good black man, or the black man that, you know, really giving it their best. Is like, where's the protection for them? Where is the support for them? Where is that, you know, that energy for them? So it was just a random thing that I was thinking about.
Well, since you brought it up, and I know Rob brought up, you know, women going to bat for men, or breaking down certain gender roles, or what benefits women. And this one young lady on social media brings it up a lot. And I think both of her pages got torn down, suspended. She had to make like 5 new pages. Her name is Paris. I know Paris. She's a good girl. She's a good young lady. And one of the posts she put up was, I got it right here. We really got to unpack women's ego-driven narcissism when it comes to disrespecting and rejecting men in all aspects of life, while still requiring them to be present for gender-specific roles. Don't need to break that down, and y'all pretty much understand it.
Break it down, Master Swift.
So, for example, if it benefits a woman, if it benefits her ego or what she feels, puts her up on a pedestal, she is all for gender roles. For example, the man being the financial support, the man taking out the trash, the man providing a home, the man doing all these things because he's a man, not because that's what they agreed upon, but because gender roles specify this is what takes place. But when the man says you should do this or you should do that, women come back with, that's misogynistic. Oh, you don't know what's best for me. You're not a woman. You're a man, so you can't tell me what to do. So when the gender roles benefit the woman, she's all for them. But when the gender roles do not benefit the woman and causes her to do some work or put in work to make the relationship work, she's like, no, that's not going to work out. So what do y'all think about that, especially about gender roles in general, but on social media? Can we specify what a woman can or cannot do for the relationship to work? Do you think that men have that privilege or the ability to? And what do you think about these women who put this out there and their page is getting suspended? What does that say? And hold on, and let me add on to this. Portia Renee said, what specifically does he want her to do? Be specific. That was a very general statement, but if y'all can add on, when it comes to a woman doing what you feel a woman should do, what are those roles that make a relationship successful?
To answer the other part of the question that you said, what do I think about her account being suspended? I think that it makes, I can't say that one woman reported it, but I can say that if you generalize, it makes women look hypocritical, because you're on Kevin Samuels because you say, oh, he's too blunt and he's a man, he doesn't know. But then when a woman speaks the same thing or similar things, you also try to block her too. So it kind of makes you think that it's not who's saying it, it's what's being said. And so it makes you kind of think about that. So I'll answer the other part of the question shortly, but in my mind, it makes me think like, so it's not Kevin Samuels, it's what he's saying. And it's a little bit too much of truth involved in that. So I think, yeah.
They say the truth hurt.
Yeah, dude.
So what do you think, Crow? Is it the truth?
It has some truth in it. I won't say that goes for all women. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say it has truth in it. Because that will make that broad statement would just throw all women in there. And so, you have some that have their picks and choose moments when they want the man to lead and when they want to be independent in a relationship. They'll call a man or ask their husband to do certain things, but when he speaks up on certain things or asks her not to do certain things or not purchase some things, I'll say,
Okay, be specific.
Okay, I'll put it this way. I got a homie. Him and his wife, they make good, so they both can basically get whatever they want or what have you. So they, he handles home, then I think she handles the other stuff, and then he take care of some other stuff. So he's like, hey, let's save to, get to the bigger house and other stuff. So what she would want, she would come to him and say, hey, I want to get this right here. He'd be like, no, let's hold off. You know what I'm saying? Let's, put that money in the pot. Like I'm putting some of this in the pot. And because she's making that big amount, like he's making that big amount, she doesn't have to rely on him. So then she kind of goes into that independent mode and say, hey, don't worry about it. I'll just get it on my own and still foot, you know what I'm saying? Da, 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 da. So, that they have their picks and choose moments of when they want to be independent and when they, call on a man to lead. And if they even value his opinion in that moment in time, are they really just asking to say, hey, at least I asked? Are they really valuing the thought of what that man is trying to, drop on them, and vice versa for the man?
Okay. T, I know you've been out for a while. I know you ready. You've been ready and waiting. So what do you think?
Nah, man, during the time that I was out, I was able to reflect on myself and get closer to my inner J Ward. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna take up for the women on this one, man. Honestly, I'm lying like a y'all already know. Women are going to give you the crocodile tears, man. You know what I'm saying? The women's right movement was all about, they want to make equal pay and all that good stuff. But at the same time, it ain't about them trying to, do some construction work or any type of manual labor. Not all, just some, you know what I'm saying? Not all. I have to preface that, not all. But, they want them office job, they want the money, but they weren't trying to get equal, you know what I'm saying, with the real deal nitty-gritty work, And it's the same way in relationships. They turn it off, turn it on when it benefits them, unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, because people get away from what makes a relationship or what makes, a union work. Everybody has something that they need to do, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people are getting away from masculine, feminine, or making feminine be a negative word, like it's coincided with weak or something like that, when feminine is really strong for a woman. You know what I'm saying? Like that's where your strength lies, in your femininity. So when it comes to gender roles and the benefits, I just think that if more people would get out of their own way, then we could really see the way of real relationship or the way our community should blossom, But hey, who am I?
And Rob, I know you got you've been seeing this live and in action on Twitter. So Ted, what do you think?
So that post that you read at the beginning of this, that spawned from a young lady who was carrying a 40-inch TV into Best Buy, and she said she counted 6 guys who did not stop to ask her if she wanted some help. But 2 hours prior to that, she had tweeted that she hated men. Like she said that, she hates men are trash or something like that. And so that's what that tweet spawned from. You cannot dislike men or women in one sense, but then want them to give you their gender rolled energy in another sense. The world does not work like that. Like you cannot on one hand, wave a hand on all women, but then want this woman to cook you a meal or to do something, same thing. And it's this constant wanting to have it both ways thing. Like I said, I'm all about, if you want to tear down the patriarchy, great, what do you need me to do? But I can guarantee you the ones who want to tear it down are also benefiting from it. And that's what most people don't realize. Like all of these systems that are in place that you don't like, it's doing things for you that you don't want to do. And so when you want to tear something down, you have to recognize how you're benefiting from it and then say, oh shit, maybe I don't need to tear it down or maybe I need to work within it. Because you got a whole bunch of people who want men to, go to work, pay all the bills, bring their check home, and the wife do what she's supposed to do with it. But the wife is terrible with money. She ain't got nothing for him when he gets home, and she don't want to do anything because she feels like she shouldn't do anything. But the man is supposed to do what he's supposed to do, but she's not supposed to do anything. And it's just backwards and selfish, man. And I don't understand the mentality of you want the man to fit within his roles and take out the trash, kill all the bugs, go to work and work 80,000 hours a week, bring home his money, make sure your car is filled up with gas, make sure your car is clean, make sure that the lawn is mowed, make sure this is done, that is done, but you don't want to do anything. You don't want to do anything, like nothing. It's so selfish, man. I don't understand that thought process of if the man is doing all of this stuff, like the whole what do you bring to the table conversation. I think that's a trash conversation. The thing is, what are you going to do to make sure that your man, if he is doing what you want him to do, you're making sure he's covered when he comes home or when he needs to rest. Because if he's just working, you're not doing anything, one of y'all going to get tired of that and someone's going to leave.
Right.
Like it's just there's no out for the man to do what he's supposed to do if he's not getting covered on the other end. If he's supposed to have a help mate there to help him, and we're not talking about paying bills either. We're talking about folding some clothes or mopping the floor or washing the dishes or cooking a meal or just something that takes a load off of him. I just don't understand that mode of thinking, man. I don't get it.
So Nicholas Kent said, I saw something on neurodivergence, basically saying there's more gender neutral people or non-binary people among us because a lot of what society sees as masculine and feminine are really just social concepts. And I got an understanding of what you mean. I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into that on another day. That's a good comment. Patricia, but why do we really care about these roles? If we all lived separately, we would have to do it all. Can't we just be happy to have a helpmate? I think what part of being from the South and being country and being raised in the South, you're taught to be that gentleman, to hold the door open. Those things are kind of ingrained in us at a very early age. And we don't see.
Speaking of that, Swift,
go ahead.
My son was just, got our haircuts today or what have you. And on his way out the door, he said, Dad, his cousin, I'm not going to say his name, he said, boys go first, Dad. And I said, no, boys don't go first. Girls go first. I said, you told him correctly. I said, yes, you always let the young ladies go first before you, especially when holding the doors and everything. He said, I know. I told him, Dad. I said, that's what I'm talking about, man. And see, that's what I've been instilling in him. And so, that kind of goes directly into it as being what we would say what a man's supposed to do.
Right.
Just basic starting off, being a gentleman.
So, but those are examples of early on being taught gender specific roles, right? Like we hold the door open. We provide financial stability in the long run. We're talking to these things like when I go out on a date or if I'm out with my coworkers, more than likely I'm going to pay. Like if I'm going out to get breakfast and I ask if one of my lady coworkers wants something to eat, I don't let them bring out their wallet because that's what I was taught. That's what's ingrained in me, right? But like
so Swift, you owe me lunch, is what you're saying. You're gonna pay. Bet. Let me write that.
What?
Swift always buying something for
you
somebody.
You owe me lunch.
Man.
So let me write that.
You lunch? Are you a woman?
But it's a gentleman thing to pay. I'm your guest.
Shut up. But the point is, those things are built into us at a very early age, being from the South. I can't speak for the North. I know we have conversations all the time. Is this a bad thing? Because, like Patricia said, why do we even care about these roles? Why do we care about who goes through the door first or who pays?
Swift, let me try to answer that real quick.
Go ahead.
Just that specific comment by Patricia. And this led to another thing that we talked about in the group chat that doesn't exist. I think some women fear that they have nothing to offer other than those gender roles, other than sex. Like, I think that's the reason why they hold on to them a little bit more than us, because nowadays the amount of men that can cook is like almost even with women. I think all of us on here can cook at least enough to survive. So it's like, what else are you bringing? And I think like women kind of feel like, oh, men are becoming obsolete. But then on the same side, it's just like, what else are you bringing other than, and like the man said in one of the clips that we watched, we didn't talk about it on this particular episode, but we did watch the clip, and he was like, I can pay $50 a week to get food in my house clean. So what else are you bringing other than that? And I think that's where, the insecurities start to play a huge role. And then we start to bring those roles up, and they say, and then, like a woman goes back to that argument of, well, men supposed to do this and this and this. And it's like, but see, now you want to use that as the last straw in your argument because you kind of don't have anything else that you're bringing me other than that. And it just comes back to the argument of, and this might be a totally different topic, so I might need to write this down, but why would a self-sufficient man need to get in a relationship? That's what I really want. That might need to be a topic that we talk about. Why would a man that's on his own 2 feet need to get in a relationship?
J. Ward, like what you were saying, she can ask you, or she could tell you what you're supposed to do in a relationship as a man. But the time you say anything about what she's supposed to do, it's going to be an issue. It's going to be a problem. And it could be something simple and light, not even nothing deep. Just if you say anything about what a woman should do, supposed to do, anything that opinion of a woman, is going to be an issue for the man, bro.
But I think that to go back to answer the other part of the question, and I have a lot of notes on this, but I do think that women would choose to be feminine, but especially our women, society and history has proven that they need to be prepared to be both. Like I think they would choose to be feminine and submissive in the traditional women roles, but historically, especially from our previous generation, you might have to be prepared to be mama and daddy. You might have to be prepared to teach your son how to be a man. So I think just, evolution and things like that has kind of led our women to be that. But I also don't think women should go into it with the expectation that you ain't shit, you're not going to do, the things you need to do, because a lot of times you'll treat a man that way. And that's the thing that pushes him away. And now you kind of made that bed for yourself so you can be in that situation. So it is a double-edged sword. But I mean, I used to watch my mom do stuff that I know a woman shouldn't do, or traditionally a woman shouldn't do, but it was just her. And I wasn't old enough to do those things yet. So it was like she had no other choice. So I think women would kind of gravitate toward that. But it's like, in today's society, they haven't had, they just got to prepare for the expectation that you ain't shit dude and you're not going to be there. So you kind of got to do that. But like Swift said, we all are Southern men. And, I take the trash out, I cut the grass, I do all those things just because it's easier for me to do it because I'm physically stronger. And, it's nothing for me to take 2 bags of trash out as opposed to you throwing your back out. And I do that because I care about you and because I love you. So I don't want you to have to do that because I'm physically stronger than that. But I think the problem comes in when I'm also doing other household things and stuff like that. It's like, so what are you going to do to make up for that when I am doing those other things too that are traditionally women roles?
So Jay Ward, how do you feel about the women that like make the excuse that they can't be feminine because a man is not where he needs to be, or like he's not leading supposedly or whatever? How do, because I see that a lot, like, oh well, I could be feminine if the man will, but hey, I'm masculine all the time. I can't cut it on and cut it off. I gotta be me. When I come into a relationship, I gotta be the man. I got, you know what I'm saying? So they get the option of, oh well, I don't have to be feminine yet, or I don't have to be this and that. No, you need to come like you want me to come, and then we meet in the middle, right? Am I tripping? That's what I'm for real, Jay Ward, because you the only one that can answer this.
Well,
Oh, you ain't the only one.
am I breaking up?
No, you good.
Okay. I heard the beginning part of the question, T, but then you kind of started staticking. So I was wondering, was I going out?
No, I was saying, like, okay, women will use the excuse that they can't be feminine.
Oh, okay, yeah. So yeah, I heard that. So T, here's my thing with that. I think with that, a lot of times that's a woman trying to be with a man based off of potential and them trying to be the person to mold them into something else. Like if that man has no leadership skills, if he has no, if he's not masculine, if he does not know how to lead, you know that already before you go any further into any other dealings with him. So why are you intentionally going down this road with someone who you see does not have this skill set, and then you're upset when he doesn't realize potential that wasn't there? It's like, why would you sit there and wait on him to do these things when you know he already was not doing them in the first place? So I think that's a part of selection, and people should choose better. It's the same way if you get with a woman and you see that she does not have any motherly tendencies, but then when you have a kid and she's not being a good mother, it's like, but my dude, you kind of knew that before you chose to procreate with this person, and you kind of ignored that. So I just think that, sometimes I'm gonna just be real. Sometimes it seems like women are hard up, or it's just like almost not desperate, but it's just like, damn, you reaching, like you know that this wasn't gonna work. You really put a lot of work into this, and you knew it was a dead end to begin with. He told you this was a dead end, and you still put work in. And I'm just like, now come on now, like don't target all black men because you chose to waste time on somebody who you knew was a dead end.
Let me go to the comments because we got some good comments right now. I think Nicholas Ken is actually somebody else. I think a lot of it has to do with social identity. Having those set roles in place help people establish a stable sense of self and gives them somewhere to belong. Not having it puts people in a state of chaos and if unable to govern. That's a good point. We need to have a conversation off topic or offline, Nicholas. Kimberly, meet me at Mickey's, Professor. Oh, I never been, so let's go. I haven't been to Mickey's yet. Portia, I hear y'all a lot. I hear y'all, but a lot of dudes aren't providing and taking care of financial needs, and then it's still expecting the lady to take care of the house. I'm not cooking, cleaning, paying bills, and laying on my back to make you feel good. Not all men are behaving equally.
But baby, before you go on, Swift, so
hold on, Rob. You got to go with it. Let me get these last comments. What if that wasn't us? I think that delicate flower, feminine, soft narrative wasn't black women from jump. It's more a product of colonizers and their version of Christianity. That's a good point. You can't relax and let a man be a man if he's behaving like a boy. If I can teach you how to pay bills and take care of business, I end up feeling like your mom. Mike said, ain't no gender roles. Everybody needs to bring their A game to the table and figure it out for themselves and their situation. Last comment, Kim said, how many mistakes do we allow the man to make when he is leading before the woman can say, hold up, wait a minute. Let me handle this while you watch and learn. Anytime black women correct a black man, it's met with hostility.
Hey, can I get that one? Rob, I'll let you get the first one. I'll take care of that one.
Read that first comment because Rob was ready to go in.
Man, Kim the homie, man. What is Kim? Come on, Kim.
Right.
So Rob was gonna respond to this comment. I hear y'all, but a lot of dudes aren't providing or taking care of financial needs, and then still expect the lady to take care of the house. I'm not cooking, cleaning, paying bills, and laying on my back to make you feel good. Not all men are behaving equal. Go ahead, Rob.
So my question is, and I see this so much, why is a dude that is not meeting your standards being rewarded with ass if they are meeting what you want them to do? Like, I don't understand that. You know he can't provide for you. You know he's not a good dude. You know he's not worthy of a home cooked meal, but yet he is in your place or you are in his place or you all are sharing a place when you know he's not worth what you need to give him. I don't understand that. And so what we have to realize is we reward things we should reward. That's men and women. Mm-hmm. And so why are you rewarding somebody you know is a terrible person with ass, home cooked meals, gifts, etc.? Like I don't get it. Like, that's a terrible excuse. It's terrible because you can easily withdraw that and just move on if this person isn't worth you cooking a meal for them. Like I don't understand it. I don't get it.
We may have dive a little deep. We don't have enough time. We got a couple more minutes. But go ahead, Crow.
All right, and you saying you let the man lead, and the woman say, "Hold up, wait a minute, let me handle this for." So first off, why are you constantly sticking with somebody who got you lost in the ocean without, you know what I'm saying, without the proper navigational tools? You know, you first off chose to hop on that ship, get in that ocean. That's you who didn't do a walk around on that boat before you then talk to the captain to see if the captain had knowledge. So that's on you. You know what I'm saying? As a young lady, as a man, also choosing who we choosing. So before you go out there selling the ocean with somebody, you need to make sure that they have the right credentials before you choose to let them lead or be a helpmate along the way. That's like Rob said, that's just the problem. A lot of people not just really diving into and looking into.
And let me say this real quick, Crow. We're not talking about you specifically, Portia. I think you're relating what we're talking about to your specific situation. This is in general.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I definitely understand what you mean when you say when you're married and you believe in your vows, you compromise and keep doing what you are taught to do. I understand it. But you can also divorce and go on and do what's best for you as well. That's
and I'm gonna say this too.
We've all messed up in a relationship, but you learn and you realize you're rewarding terrible behavior if you keep it going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then too, one thing too, a lot of people present themselves as I'll just say as a fucking Ferrari or Maserati, and they really a Ford Focus. They got a Ford Focus engine up under them. You know what I'm saying? They got a tractor transmission. So you really, no, I'm just being honest, because people say a dreams out here. They put on for a while, and like I'm really encouraging everybody. Honestly, I ain't saying be an asshole or nothing, but do your research, push buttons, see what you can really find out about this person, especially if you're trying to call yourself on this look. Yeah, I'm finna get booed up, so I gotta look for the right person. Or if you a dude, like, yeah, man, I'm ready to find me a woman nowadays. Really do your research. It's fucking okay to date and really do your research.
And speaking of do your research, that is a perfect segue to our next topic. But before we do I have any final comments on this?
Straight.
I just feel like T took a hiatus so he can work on his shoulders. And then he came back after he got
Doctor said I gotta work out. Can't really drink for real. So I done cut out everything, bro, for real.
So what y'all saying is Beyonce should have left Jay-Z after he messed up?
Never mind. I ain't gonna say that. I was gonna say something, man.
Let's keep going.
Beyonce not innocent.
Let's not.
Don't you speak on Beyonce.
I'm part of the Beehive. I'm part of the Beehive, bro.
Let's not. So, speaking of do your research, double standards. My boy PJ Washington got caught out there bad. If y'all are not familiar with the situation, PJ Washington.
really mean his boy.
He got a legit swiffle. A
legit boy. His brother.
Hey, that boy got swift all across that floor right there.
Right. Y'all know she wasn't team look good when she, please, she had all that money. Anyway, but he ended up marrying Brittany Renner and had a baby by this.
They got married?
Man. They
were married for like 4 months, wasn't it?
I don't think they got married.
Swift should know you guys.
I think they did get married for like 4 months.
Swift should know you guys.
Well, I'm gonna say they were together for like 4 months. They had a child.
Can we put it out there that this is one of Swift's old flames for the people who do
this
not
is
know?
not one of my old. I don't need to come from the media. I have an image to uphold. There is not. We've never.
That might boost your image.
Hey, Swift sent her down this spiral. After Swift broke her heart. Swift started this, you guys.
You put the icebox where her heart used to be. You did. You put it there.
Dreadhead Swift. This is the trauma you caused. Did you see what you caused, young man?
He unleashed her into the world.
She is
when she worked out to get the abs, and when she was on the surgery table, she had a picture of Swift in a locket, looking at like I'll never be a victim again.
Hey, she put Swift face on a soccer ball and was kicking it in the goal.
Yo, this is just
you make daddy proud.
Pro music and remove. Damn it. Y'all are not going to paint that image of me. So I had no dealings with that young lady.
Because you turned her down. Because you a high value man. You didn't see her. Never mind. Go ahead.
But the point of us bringing up Brittany Renner, let's get to the point. It is said that she groomed and interacted with this young man while he was in college. What would this look like if the roles were reversed? Do we have that option, that ability to groom someone from college? What does it look like if the roles were reversed? And y'all shaking y'all head, but y'all know what does it look like?
It don't look good. It wouldn't look good.
Wouldn't look good. So this goes back to our previous discussion of the whole gender roles thing feeds into men and women not believing men can be women can be predatory and men can be victims. It's the same thing. It's the same scenario. Like men should know how to spot a predatory woman at 17, but women can prey on 16, 17-year-olds as a grown-ass woman and no one bats an eye about it. And if it's flip-flopped, the male is like the sickest person on earth, and the woman or the young lady is dainty and she needs to be protected. It's the same thing. It's the same exact thing. We do the gender roles thing, and people feel like that men, regardless of what age they are predators and they are the aggressors and they're never the victims. And women, regardless of what age they are always the victims and can never be predators. Like it works in our disadvantage when we talk about stuff like this.
Absolutely. So I got our brother Dion on. Dion, please introduce yourself, where you're coming from.
Can you mention your number too? Like in a signal. What number were you on the line, Dion?
That is not relevant. It's not.
All right. Anyway, can y'all hear me?
We hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I'm Dion, and I'm the motherfucking 10. Swift, stop hating. Man, I'm from Chicago. Just want to chime in. Been watching this for a long time. Want to bring the young perspective. Appreciate everybody for having me on, and I hope I can add a different viewpoint today. I'm just trying to watch right now though and see exactly what y'all talking about because I just chimed in. I know it's double standard, so
I mean, because you were born after 9/11, so You definitely gonna give us a different perspective because
yeah, so I'm about to just listen right
we
now.
some old niggas.
Yeah, I kind of get the gist based off what Rob was just saying, but I'm gonna listen for a few more minutes and
No
then
problem.
I say what
Hey,
I
So-
got.
y'all, hey, Dion, like my nephew.
Hey, Swift, let me chime in right here.
Go ahead.
I cannot blame Brittany Renner for what she did. Here's why. When are we as celebrity men going to realize, hey, stop pulling from the same pool of women? Like, if you can put 7, 8 NBA players on her already and 8 more rappers and entertainers, you already know what the deal is. So did you think that you were going to change her? Like, did you think that you touched the part of it that nobody else touched or something, and like she all of a sudden was going
She
to
may
be?
have got to read her poster. You know they can go get it redone again.
Come on, bro.
I'm just being honest. That thing can be new all over again, G.
So I mean, look, you know, she playing a game. You should be playing a game as well. Like, hey man, you know, I'm gonna just kick it with her. You know, do what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna wife her because I don't know if her intentions are pure. So it's like Karl Anthony Towns is next. He's with Jordan Woods. I had to Google who Jordan Woods was. This is the same woman who Tristan Thompson kissed, and she's a Kardashian associate. And then, you know, she was blamed as the bad guy because she kissed Tristan Thompson, whatever.
She was the bad guy in trash. Jordan Woods is trash.
Okay, but now she with Karl Anthony Towns. So you making the same exact mistake like all these other women out here in the world that have careers and their own businesses and real estate agents and all this type of stuff. Y'all want to get the community property and then you get mad. Like, I personally don't feel like unless she used a needle and siphon the semen out of a condom that a woman can trap a man. Because you chose to have unprotected sex with her, you chose to not pull out. So she did not trap you.
Hold on.
Let me say something. Let me say something real fast. But y'all got to remember this now. Don't forget this. They say, and forgive my language, they say hoes as in honeys are funner than, you know, your regular girlfriends and wives. So that's why they probably, hey, these girls.
I get that.
But hold on.
But
before y'all go, let me push back a little bit. It's a difference between Karl Anthony Towns dating Jordan Woods as a full adult, 25, 30 years old plus, and PJ Williams interacting with Brittany Renner while he's in college. And
PJ Washington.
Right? PJ Washington interacting with Brittany.
Okay, but here's my thing too, Swift, and I'm getting to that.
Mm-hmm.
PJ Washington is a McDonald's All-American. You know what that means? He's pretty much been famous since he was 14, 15. So at some point, you ought to understand the game. This ain't the first bad chick to come your way and, you know, coming at you for clout. Like, so maybe some old school cat should have told him, like, bro, you got to look out for this. But at the end of the day, to address what Swift is talking about, the double standards, if Brittany Renner was considered unattractive, they would be after her the same way people are after R. Kelly. If she was deemed unattractive, they would say she took advantage of him. She did this, this, and this, and this. But people are looking at her like, well, at least he enjoyed it because she's fine. She's attractive and all that. That's an unfair double standard. She was a predator. She targeted him. If that's true, she targeted him when he was still in college, when he was still a minor. So it's an unfair double standard. But it makes it okay because of how she looks. Go ahead, T.
18.
Yeah, he was 18. He was in college. He was at Kentucky when they met.
That nigga was grown.
She said she waited until he turned 18, which means she was scoping him before he was legal. Yeah, that's like me saying, hey, this chick is hot. I've been tracking her since she was 15. I know she's going to look great when she turned 18, and then I'm going to jump on her. People would call me a weird-ass old dude and probably try to lock my ass up.
Hey, so is that confirmed? That she legitimately said that? Oh yeah, nah, that's creepy. That's creepy.
And this goes back to that example where people bring up Beyonce and Jay-Z, how he was with her at a young age. He kind of got some flack for that too, right?
But she was grown, like in her 20s.
Yeah,
exactly. That's the point. Like Jay-Z received pushback and bad press for him going after Beyonce when she was young, but she was 20, whatever. PJ Washington he's in college. He's 18, 19 years old playing basketball. Britney put out this video, this book about how athletes and rappers and entertainers are easy and a check. And she really went out and did what she said she was going to do. And she been plotting on this man since he was early in college.
Swift, did you teach her that? I'm just interested. Did you teach her that early? I'm just saying.
And you know what? She probably had a list of them, Tyrese Maxey, whichever one of them would bite. She probably had several of them on the list. And then go ahead, T.
No, I just said Swift sent that girl to the streets, man.
Hey, that's what he got his doctorate in, low key.
First of all, I'm attracted to dark-skinned women, so Brittany was not on my radar when I was in undergrad. Go ahead, Dion.
Swift, let me ask you this too. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna let you go, Dion. But then I just don't understand why. I don't understand her game. Like, you didn't even stay through the pregnancy. Most women go like Larsa Pippen. They go ahead on and put their time in and stay to 18 years or whatever. Like, I'm like, he must be trash because she didn't even stay through the pregnancy. She gone now. So it's just like, soon as she knew that she had, the conception was made, she was out of there.
No,
so
she
like,
dropped the baby. She already dropped
she already had the baby. I'm like, but what's the end game? Like, you don't even want to give it a chance with him to see if it'll work. Because he seemed like a good dude. I don't know what he's like behind closed doors, but he seemed like a good dude. So it was just like, so now you're going to bring you and your baby to the next relationship. So it had to truly be just a money grab.
It was a money grab, nigga. Duh.
Go ahead, Dion.
I was gonna say he doesn't seem like a good dude. Because first of all, I ain't even really big on social media, but I seen her videos years ago. Like, if I had the opportunity with somebody like her, it's straight smash, and I'm gone. And I'm just.
Are you gonna wrap it up? Hey, are you gonna wrap it up, Dion? That's the whole point. Are you gonna hit that thing raw? Are you gonna wrap it up?
He going in like Rob. I ain't wrapping up nothing.
I'll wrap it up. If we being honest, I hit it raw, but I'm the type of nigga I'll probably throw a plan B in her most of the next morning.
Okay, let's be on.
I like that little nigga, man. That's my little nigga. That's my dog, bro. I love that dude, bro.
Hey, I'm just but not. All right. Let me explain what I'm really trying to get on. Realistically, if you've seen any of her Instagram posts, any of her social media I'm trying to think of when I first found out about her, because it was before I even knew that she ever went to Jackson State. So, like, I used to watch her stuff, and I'm like, wow, this is a bird. You know what I'm saying? Like, she a bird, and you treat birds as birds. You put them in a cage, give them enough room to fly, but you don't let them motherfuckers roam free, because you'll never catch that motherfucker again.
That's a good point.
That's a bird.
That's a good point.
So, like, I mean, Jay, you said he sound like a good guy. He sound like a sucker.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what I said. She saw something and she licked it. That's all that happened.
Yeah.
And speaking of licking the sucker, y'all see who her best friend is?
Exactly. Listen.
Yeah.
Who's her best friend?
Tiana Trump is her best friend.
Okay, I got it.
You don't know who Trump is?
I had to think about it. I'm like, Donald Trump's daughter? No. I get what you're saying.
Listen, man. Listen.
Put the gin down, young man.
All I'm gonna say is, like I said earlier, I don't have no sympathy for PJ Washington. I don't have any sympathy for a lame. Most of these athletes are lame. Period. They might be famous, but deep down inside, a lot of them are insecure. A lot of them do not handle world stuff good. You know what I'm saying? Like, they don't know how to handle it. Different between people like us, you know what I'm saying? Like, it never defines us. We are who we are. You know what I'm saying? Either we got girls or we don't, But with this dude, you pick the lowest of the low. Just like Jay Ward said. Why are y'all athletes and rap entertainers picking from the same 10 girl, bro? Like if I was rich and famous, I would be getting the most obscure women in the world, man. You could pick any woman in the world. People with like Rob said, with businesses,
all kinds of stuff, man.
It's some RNs, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, do a hashtag
Put it
teacher
this way,
day, nurse day, you know
I'll
what I'm
put
saying?
it,
Something like that.
Low key, I'll put it this way. Before Boosie, hopped on Instagram and was hyping all these little chicks up, man, he would be in Jackson, I'll say this, and the surrounding metro areas with like some bad,
Right.
what we consider locals. You know what I'm saying? But the mugs was bad. They nowhere on nobody IGs and nothing like that. So I give Boosie definitely his props for just not, chasing the clout of a lot of these entertainers following up behind them.
Exactly. So again, PJ Washington is a lame. I don't have no sympathy for him. I don't know if his dad in his life or whatever, or like his big homies. But honestly, I think his big homies told him the game, bro. And I think he just disregarded everything everybody said and went down that path on his own. And like y'all said, she is like 7 years older than him. He knew what it was, bro. She at the end of the rope and she trying to dangle on, bro. She trying to hit the
He thought he
lick.
can make a difference, T. He
She
tried to make a
trying to
difference.
hit the lick before the cliff comes, bro. You
Don't
know what I'm
save
saying?
her.
And that's
You don't want
exactly
to
what
be
happened,
saved.
man.
Don't save her.
Because them Instagram follows and Instagram likes only get you so far.
T, let me say this too. And I hate to reference Kevin Samuels twice because I'm not a disciple of Kevin Samuels, but he was on his woman's butt about the future of being Instagram model / influencer and how fragile that life is. And Brittany Renner is very popular on Instagram. So if you were banking money, if you were that independent, like you said, then why are you looking for an NBA bag? If that money was that lucrative, like you try to lead people to believe, then you wouldn't be trying to mooch off somebody else. So I mean, it just shows how that life is not as really as lucrative as people try to make it out to be.
It's
and
fickle,
she's very
man.
popular. So
go ahead, Dion. We're gonna wrap up this last time.
All right. So I want to be fair. I want to be fair. Everything that everybody said is true. But if we're looking at the reality of things, ain't shit new under the sun. You know what I'm saying? This shit been happening. Women been using their charms against men since the beginning of time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We can call these athletes lame, woo off the band, whatever it is. But at the end of the day, it was some old head told me a long time ago. This world is for real like an onion. It's in layers. You know what I'm saying? Like we not in that layer, and it's easy on the outside looking in. But I could say I'm not rich or famous. Some of y'all might be rich, but ain't none of us famous for real, for real. So like they live in a different layer of that onion. You know what I'm saying? This world is layered like an onion. They live in a different layer than we live in. And people date for convenience. People have long distance relationships, but at the end of the day, people date for convenience. People date what's convenient for them. 9 times out of 10, whoever you started dating is because, you know what I'm saying, they lived around the way somewhere. You could conveniently, hey, what you doing? You want to go out, grab dinner? You want to go grab coffee? You want to da 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 da. So them talking to the same women and the same 10 or the same 20, Lori Harvey, whoever it is throwing names out there, it's because they're all in the same circles. When all of us went to university, you probably knew at least 2 or 3 females that it might not have been your close homie, or it might not have been somebody in the frat, but you knew somebody else who messed with her. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just keeping it real. So that's why that's like that. It's just like a different level because they are rich and famous and they under the spotlight and they on TV and they stuff get blasted on social media, but it's happening at every level. We just not in that level. So I don't really think it's fair to say why you passing around the same girls or dating the same guys or dating the same girls because that's just who they're around. That's they.
But
But
socioeconomic.
guess
That's what's
what?
available
You
to
can
them.
travel outside of that layer
I was
to
gonna say, Dion, when you rich like that, you have a privilege.
right.
So your privilege expands your horizons.
Thank
All
you.
right, look, I
Thank
knew
you.
somebody was gonna say that. All right, you rich and famous. Yes, I could date a business owner. Yes, I could go date a doctor or a surgeon. But think about it like this way. Realistically, I'm a famous athlete. I'm not a famous scholar. So a doctor or a surgeon, they lifestyle, even though they got money and they might be able to travel in the same circle as me, they not thinking the same as me.
Bro,
Right.
you know who
I agree with what
Because if I
Dion
was
is saying
if
for the
I
most
become
part.
a famous doctor,
me too.
if Brittany Renner and we both got the same tax bracket came to talk to me, I'd be like, yeah,
Absolutely.
like I said before, I'll smash, but I ain't kicking it with you like that.
Because they're being
this other
introduced,
doctor
they're
or
being
this other
introduced by the
lawyer,
same
you know what I'm
people
saying?
to each other. Like they're rolling in the same circles. And then, you know, like honestly, if I was in Kanye's shoes, I would do the same thing. I know everybody judged him for being with Kim Kardashian, but I'm like, bro, I would do the same thing. I mean, I probably wouldn't have got married. I don't know like that, but I mean, but I just feel like with these
I
guys,
would have married Kim, bro.
these AAU guys, they've been on the popular scene with social media being so prevalent. They've been known since they were in 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade. So I mean, this ain't your first time having a groupie. So you shouldn't have been like head over heels after a groupie because you've been had groupies. I know some people on the Alpha Beta Step team that got groupies. I wasn't on the Step team, so it's not me. But I know people on the Alpha Beta Step team.
You know who was on the Step team though?
Alpha Beta didn't have
Swift with the dreads.
Y'all trying to paint me out to be this horrible, money, whole in undergrad, and that might be, but still, no.
But for real though, like Crow was saying about Boosie, bro. Like if y'all follow Boosie old lady now is fine as hell, bro. But you can't link her to nobody at all in the industry. She got followers and all that, and she look good and everything. But you can't link. You can't.
I think
link
Kevin
her
Gates' old lady like that too. Like can't nobody really link her to nobody like that.
Hold on, y'all. Because Jay going out. I don't know what the hell she's talking about. AB is not for the streets.
That's spam. That's spam.
Y'all established 2020. We established in 1927 that if you want a good man and marry a good man, get you an Alpha Beta man.
How many Alpha Beta men have gotten married since we've started this show?
We ain't gonna put it out there because we got some that on their own time.
Yeah, but I'm just saying we since we started this show, we at least had about 15 weddings thus far.
At least minimum.
At least 15 weddings.
Alex just got married.
Yep. AB getting married soon.
Yeah, get your AB man.
Corey, like
it's been a lot. It's been a lot.
It's been a lot. But we're gonna move on to this last topic. Any final comments on this? We'll move on to the last topic.
Hey, Dion spitting facts though, and like the old school said that everything is there's nothing new under the sun. David did the same thing. If you read in the Bible, his account with Bathsheba and how that whole thing went down, it's crazy. It's like some of the same stuff that people go through today. You saw her end up putting her husband in harm's way to get killed so he can have some shady shit. But go ahead.
So 2 things real quick. Dion, what you drinking now?
This some man, I forgot the name of it. It's some new stuff I tried. It's some whiskey. It's
you probably need to ask what he smoked.
And second thing, hold on real quick, T. I said I am attracted to dark-skinned women. I didn't say I don't date only dark-skinned women. That's 2 different things.
But Swift, you're light-skinned.
No, I'm not. I'm dark-skinned.
Yes, you are.
Oh, that's your first time drinking Wolf or Reserve?
Yeah. That's good stuff.
Hey, he's finally growing up. Oh,
yeah, that's good stuff.
Hey, I graduated from Crown.
Well, there are levels. There are levels, young man. This is the Reserve.
And then when you get to the XR,
Nicholas Kent says she got after dark questions. I would like to know what those are, but I can't comment. But go ahead, Swift, with the last topic.
Last topic. So They just brought up some myths about alpha beta, about us being for the streets. Absolutely the hell not. So let's talk about myths real quick, but let's talk about myths about adulthood. What are some myths you were told when you were younger about adulthood, and you got here and like, what the this is not what I was told. Dion, like, I want to go.
Hey, look, he just hit adulthood, so right? Yeah, let him go. Let him go.
Go ahead, Dion.
Now, I mean, this is still a myth to me because I don't know, because I'm not married. But so like all my uncles and stuff used to tell me like, yeah, you know, when you get married, like all that sex and that head, that shit out the window. And I was just like, what the fuck you getting married for? Wait, do y'all curse on here? I can curse, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So that's one main myth that blows my mind, and I hope I never find out it's true, because I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I think that's probably why I'm still not married to this day. I'm like, damn.
I'll just say, Dion,
you got time, Dion. Take your time.
Dion, you got to find somebody compatible on that level with you. And that goes to, you know, like we discussed many times before, you know, communicate. So, and then at the same time, I will say this: I hear a lot of ladies, because I work in a field of women, and they say, you know, honestly, once they do start the families and everybody kind of start going, you know, they get, you know, everybody kind of take on roles, picking up kids and doing this. So you have to create those moments, that time for that, you know. So I think a lot of people forgot to create those moments and times, and, you know, forgot the spice that started it off. But continue on with your
I agree with Dion said, because I've heard the same thing. Like, before marriage, y'all having sex 4-5 times a week, anytime, any place. But as soon as y'all get married, it's like pulling teeth trying to.
Bruh.
Yeah.
Listen, all I know is they told me that the outside is easier to get than the inside. And I can either deny or confirm.
Get another one, Dion. You got another one, Dion.
Nah, that was my one. I got one more.
Go ahead.
I don't know if it's directly related to the topic, but also, before I had my son, people used to always tell me, like, you know, once you have a child, like, you know, I guess your social life is gonna diminish, and like your pocket's gonna really be hurting. But that's another myth. That's a for sure myth to me, because it's just like, nah, you just gotta reroute some stuff. You gotta adapt. So that's a myth for sure. But I think that also depends on how you grew up. If you grew up in that type of situation where people didn't know how to value money and, you know, how to prioritize things, then yeah, it would seem like a child is a burden. But when my son was born, you know, I still buy J's. I don't go out to drink as much as I used to. You know, I'm at the house, which is way more affordable. I don't smoke nowhere near as much as I used to, which was a costly habit. You know what I'm saying? But I think I still have a good quality of life. And so that's another myth that I think people should stop spreading around.
Gotcha. Read this comment. Regular sex gets old and boring. People are tired. There's no effort. People act like you're not supposed to grow sexually. That's a good point. Like, you're growing every other way in a relationship, but people forget sexual growth.
Amen.
That's a good
one. Amen to that one.
But it's only so much you can do sexually. Like, everybody got limits.
No, it's a lot you can do sexually.
Fake news.
Hey, look, Swift, I ain't.
You don't want to go down that Swift route, bro.
Okay, let's move on.
Hey, Swift,
everybody muted.
Tell him.
Everybody muted. No, we not
nigga, man.
Hey, he still got Similac on his bro. Hey, he still got to grow. He still got to grow up.
Okay, so another myth. Go ahead, Jay Ward. Another myth. I hope my grandma not watching.
He innocent, man. He innocent, man.
Grandma,
I ain't gonna go there.
Dion
Going
is
to college,
innocent.
Grandma, I am still a virgin.
going to college is a good idea. That was a myth right there. For some people it is, for most people it isn't. It's not a good financial choice because you're still gonna just get you still got to go into the workforce and get work experience, and you could just did that coming out of high school. Adults can do whatever they want to do. That's not true. You kind of in bondage when you become an adult because you got to do it when you get off work, and then if they send you somewhere, you got to do what your job saying. Then once you have kids, you got to do what your kids' schedules allow you to do. Black people have bad credit. That's a fucking myth. Like a lot of times we create bad credit or we have no credit because we want established credit. Credit is like one of the most important things in the world. We just don't know about it. We gotta learn some knowledge about that. Get a pet. That is ghetto as hell. Like T got a $1,200, $1,500, $2,000 dog. Like that shit is ghetto. Like getting a dog is so expensive. It's more expensive than having a child. The vet is expensive.
Another child.
The dog food is expensive. Cleaning up the poop is a hassle. Like it is so ghetto. Nobody told us that it would be that difficult at all.
It's because we tie dogs up around the tree outside. That's why.
Exactly.
Bro, listen.
And if the dog died, you just get another one. You didn't know, like,
No.
the dog got glaucoma. How you know?
Why you being funny, bro? The dog did die, bro.
I was just gonna say, my family dog just died yesterday, bro.
He died, bro. The dog
My
died,
condolences,
bro.
man. I'm sorry.
I really cried, bro. I had the dog for a week, bro.
The expensive dog died, T?
1 week, dog.
Damn.
I'm arguing with the. Fuck you, nigga.
Hey, they were the savage for real.
Nah, no, but
they were the savage for real.
I'm talking to the breeder. I'm talking to the breeder right now, man. The breeder's supposed to, you know what I'm saying, reimburse me or work out some kind of deal with me, bro. But
they were the savage.
It hurt, bro. That dog hurt, bro. Y'all dirty, man. Y'all don't care, man.
It's how you said it. My bad. I didn't know. I just found out about that. My bad.
All right. So, any more they want, Rob, any myths? I know you got a lot.
Man, I got so many, but I know one for sure is when we were growing up, we were always happy, you know, to see Black people in leadership. Man, that is not always a good thing, man. Like having a Black person in leadership means nothing if that Black person doesn't like other Black people. Like it's just you know, white supremacy and blackface, man. Oh my goodness gracious, man. Like having a Black person in leadership means nothing unless, you know, for one, they're looking out for other Black people, but for two, they're fair across the board. So that was something like my parents were always, you know, rooting for, you know, Black people being in leadership, and I've come to find out that don't mean a damn thing. I was going to talk about the kid thing, but Dion hit down pretty good. Everybody know I got a tribe, man, and kids are expensive, but at the same time, I think kids are only expensive because we tried to give them things that we didn't have instead of teaching them things that we weren't taught. And if you do that, I think that the price, you know, kind of evens up. You're not trying to, you know, buy them J's and buy them name brand stuff. Like, I'm not a big proponent of that. I'm making sure they're fed, making sure they look nice, clean, haircuts, hair done, stuff like that. It's still expensive, but I'm not, you know, breaking the bank trying to, you know, keep up with the Joneses when it comes to making sure they got like name brand shit, because that's trash. Second thing is, you know, you stop learning when you become an adult. I feel like I'm constantly learning. Like, just because I'm out of school doesn't mean that, you know, I stop learning. Like, I learn, I think, something new every other week, based on, you know, how to deal with the kids, how to deal with people outside of my family, how to deal with myself, how to deal with my spouse, how to deal with my family. I think learning should never stop. And the last thing about adulthood, and like I said, this is just specific to Black people, is that Democrats are Black people's friends.
That's a big.
I think that is something that we were raised believing. I think that is something that we should throw in the trash. And I think we should be more open-minded. I'm not saying switch over, but I feel like we should be more open-minded to listen to both sides and see who works the best for our collective. Like I always tell people whenever I'm having any type of political debates or anything like that, I don't recognize as a Democrat or a Republican. Like I recognize as an independent because I like to keep my mind open. I don't like to be in a silo or echo chamber when it comes to listening to competing ideas and things like that. So I think we should open our minds up more to listen to what's going on around us and not close ourselves off to a specific group or topic.
T.
I really ain't got too many meals. Only thing I would say is that you think that getting older, getting older sucks, basically. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you an old ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like they mess with us about being older. But truthfully, 30s are better than 20s. You have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You have a lot of fun in your 20s, bro. But in your 30s, you have the money to do whatever the fuck you want to do, man, and really enjoy yourself. If you do what you're supposed to do in your 20s, you know what I'm saying?
If you take care of your 20s, yep.
Exactly. So that myth about, man, we getting older, we washed up or whatever, bro. I can literally get up right now, go wherever the fuck I want to go, and really do whatever I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that is so beautiful to me, bro. And a lot of us on this chat, we are able to experience those things because we did what we supposed to do in our 20s. We had fun and we balled out of, we went to Gainesville and all that stuff, bro.
Who went to Gainesville? I didn't go to Gainesville.
Shut up.
Y'all went to Gainesville.
I didn't go to Gainesville.
But the 30s, man, you know what I'm saying? Like, hey, well, mine is Corona, you know what I'm saying? Let's get that out of the way. But, we can really enjoy ourselves and really see the fruits of our labor,
Gotcha. Crow.
I'm going to definitely go with you can become and do whatever you want to do in life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We lie to our kids so much. We lie to our friends. We grown folks even lie to grown folks. Everybody got to learn and truly be truthful with themselves on what they can do. And that even goes for your kids. Like I really let my son free play. And what I mean by that is I kind of let him do whatever he chooses to do because I want to be able to push him towards whatever is best kind of to hone his craft. I don't want to say, son, you're a great singer and boy, you can't sing worth a shit. And he wasting all this energy into singing, or son, I want you to be an engineer and he's cool in math. And yes, I can get him tutors and teach him all of this. But if he's shining and great in something else, why not go ahead and shine? You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and shine that up and, let that other one be a minor. So we just definitely got to be truthful about the potential of what we have within ourselves. And not saying you can't push yourself to be great, but in certain things, a lot of people are not great in, but they still give it a shot because people have lied to them, a lot about it.
Hold on, real quick, Crow. Nicholas Kent said, want to buy a whole chocolate cake and smear it on a random at 2 p.m. after brunch? You're an adult, do that. Define chocolate cake and define smear.
Bro, did you get a ring light? Somebody feels like you're more illuminated. So Hey, I will say this too. Nicholas Kent asked if you feel your age. I really don't, other than when it comes to jumping. I used to dunk. I cannot do that anymore, and that bothers me. But other than that, I don't have any other things. But another myth that I faced, and I was gonna say this for my closing remarks, but it's just relevant right now. A lot of people think that college is the best times of their lives. That was the best time of my life when I was 18, 19, 20. But I'm experiencing the best times of my life now. that I'm older. You know, do I miss some of those things in college? Yeah, sometimes. But you know, I think the best time of your life varies based off of where you are in your life. So I mean, you will have more fun later on in life than you had in college. It's not like once you graduate, that's the end of fun in life. You'll have some better versions of fun once you get
Don't peak in college.
Right. Don't peak in college. Like some people peak in high school.
Hey, a lot of people peak in high school.
High school.
Honestly.
Yeah.
That's true.
Going out. Man, hey, look at this though. I got something else to add. It's something my pops told me, right? A myth about adulthood. Adults, well, all adults or most adults are mature and they know how to handle situations with civility. I had to talk to my pops, and this was when I got in college, and it still applies now. It applies now in my career. I'm a teacher, by the way, if anyone cares. I teach science. I'm really good at it.
That's true.
And he told me one day, and it always stuck with me ever since the day he told me this. He was like, son, some niggas just get older. That don't mean they grew up.
Yo.
So like we done all seen it, man. It don't matter. 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s. A grown woman, a man that has 0 sense.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a kid, you thought like, man, every adult is like, I don't want to say like God, but it's just like, you know, you got all the answers for me. But shoot, a lot of them don't. And then another one is like adults always have things together. As a kid, I always thought like, you know, maybe a blessing, whether it was my mom or my dad, like I could depend on them. But especially as an educator in a low income neighborhood, I realized, man, there's a lot of adults out here that are not dependable either. So those, I hate to get real serious real quick at the end. I know we was having fun, but those are 2 myths that I've learned.
Nah, that's real.
I'm finally not considered a new teacher anymore. I'm going into my 4th year, but those are 2 myths that I've learned just dealing with children at my school and dealing with their parents, man. Like, it's a lot of folks out here that don't have no sense, grown folks that don't know how to manage money, grown folks that, you know,
they can't read.
And let's keep it real, man. It might sound like eugenics. It's the scientist in me, but some people shouldn't fucking have kids. And I'm just end it right there. Some people shouldn't fucking have kids.
Because
that goes back to, you know how parents like, oh, when you grow up, you're gonna be such a good mama, such a good daddy. They lying to that age.
Yeah.
Straight through their teeth.
Yeah, but it's crazy because I'm kind of an educator, I guess. I teach higher ed classes and I work in a HBCU, and these parents can be a lot. Like they can have the information right in their face and they still don't follow directions. I don't know what it is about. No, let's not get into it because I've been lost my job. Any other final comments?
There's some sexual myths that I've run into as an adult.
I was gonna
that's
go
for Brothers
too.
Vent After Dark. So
nah,
we're gonna say
we can go there because you know what I'm saying. Like, hey, you might want to hold on to your squirter, bro. You might want
to your what?
To your squirter, bro. Real talk, because they're not all women are created the same.
Amen.
Hold on to your squirter.
Yeah, I'm confused. Not every woman does it. Yes, sir. I get what he's saying.
Yeah.
You know, Jay Ward is new to this.
So which one is better?
I'm trying to carry the 7 and
Y'all, my grandmother is probably still watching, so we're not gonna go there this now. We're gonna have to do a BBT after dark session like right now. Because T went there like with no hesitation. This reminds me of the episode Whore.
I'm back, baby.
Any final comments overall.
Hold on to your throat, baby. No. Go ahead.
Final comments. Any final comments on the myths though, real quick. What if it's every woman you can't just bring it out?
He got a point. He got a point there, bro.
I think Nicholas is a she.
Oh, she got a point. She got a point, man, for real.
Yeah, I think Nicholas is cheap. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna give our final comments, and I'm gonna take everybody off the screen. I sent you a message. Take everybody off the screen, and we'll come back in like 5-10 minutes. Mama, you so disrespectful. You so wrong. I know
you got watching this stuff.
What
is that
Crow baby
message
say
about Crowley? That's all I want to know.
Oh man, Mama been cooking.
Hey, tell my baby I am on my way.
With the melted butter on it. Oh my god.
Hey, we gonna treat them. I'm gonna treat her like crab legs with that melted butter.
Crow is never coming back on this show. It is a wrap. A wrap. But this is what we're gonna do, right? Because I know we had some BBT after dark questions, right? And I know Jay Ward want to answer them. So I'm joking. What we're gonna do is give our final comments, wrap up for like maybe 5 minutes, and then come right back and see what questions y'all have. And we'll go from there. Because I want to know what questions
Rip is on one tonight.
Nicholas Kent had. Hey, listen, the first week of school is coming up. So that's what we're gonna do. So final comments, T.
What did we talk about now? Oh yeah. Don't be a sucker. Have discipline with your dick. Honestly. Like really, because
that's PJ, after dark.
No. I'm saying like we talked about Brittany Renner. We talked about Brittany Renner and PJ Washington, bro. So he needs to have discipline. Well, he needed to have discipline. So I'm telling all the guys out there, do not be a sucker. You know what I'm saying? Like for real. As far as gender roles, I think women should embrace their femininity. It is your strength. Do not look at it as a weakness. Do not let these lame chicks these single chicks tell you that you're doing too much for your man and stuff like that. No, you are a feminine woman. Be that. Men appreciate it. And as far as our last topic, what are we talking about?
Myth.
Hey, like I said, man, growing up, you think that you're being old is a negative, but it's really a positive because you can do whatever you want to do.
So T got 2 shirts now. Know your stroke count, and what was the one he just said?
Hey, that's my quote. God damn it!
No, I said he got 2 shirts. I ain't saying quote. He got 2 shirts. Know your stroke count, and what was the one he just said?
What I say? I don't know.
When you first started out,
don't manage be a lame.
Manage it, yeah.
Oh, manage your dick. dick discipline.
Yeah, that's it. Rob.
Hey, so PJ Washington plays on the same team as Melo Ball. And Melo Ball has this awesome father named LeVar Ball. LeVar Ball told him, when you get into the league, it's going to be rare to find a woman that just loves you for you. And so I want these dudes, man, if you got some old heads, pops, uncle, some old heads that's, trying to give you some game, the stuff you don't want to hear is probably the best thing that you need to do. I know you're young, dumb, full of cum, et cetera, but a lot of these chicks do not mean you any good, man. And I wish someone had told me this when I was younger, because I'm telling you, it will mess your life up. I'm telling you, man, it will mess your life up if you have no sexual discipline and you're not listening to the old heads that's telling you what to do in terms of dealing with the opposite sex. Because a lot of these guys, man, they are lost. They have no discipline. They're completely lost. And they need somebody to try to guide them in the right direction. I agree with LB, man. Femininity is your strength. If the fella is holding down his end of the bargain, and you're not doing anything, you are not a helpmate. You are an anchor. You're holding him in place. He can't move, and if he can't move, y'all can't move. So I don't know why women don't see that the more they help the guy or their man with, the farther they can go. he can only go so far with the weight dragging him down. So the more you can help him, the further you all can go together. And myths about adulthood, all that shit, it was all a myth. Like, make adulthood what you want to make it. Take care of your 20s so you can thrive in your 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s.
Absolutely, Crow.
I'm gonna just hear what my boy E would say. Man, I said what I said.
Dion.
All right. Let me pull up my handy dandy notebook. All right. I agree with T and Rob. Discipline, and I'm gonna take it to a quote. Some of y'all may know it, some of y'all may not. Depending on how you grew up. But discipline makes small numbers formidable. And that's something that I internalized coming into Alpha Beta, coming into AB. And that's something I internalized just growing up, period. Discipline makes small numbers formidable. Especially as a young black male, discipline is important. Dick discipline with your finances, discipline with how you order your life every day, you know, setting your schedule, making sure you eat breakfast, make sure you take care of yourself, make sure you drink water, making sure you get to work 15, 30 minutes early, making sure you, for me, leave on time because I don't put in no overtime because I get there early, you know what I'm saying? So discipline is definitely important in all aspects of life for young men and young women. Brittany Renner thing. Dudes, stop dating women for clout. You know what I'm saying? Stop dating them for what they got to offer sexually and date them for substance. Ladies, stop. And I hate this. Stop dating these insecure. I don't know if this is ever a topic on here. Stop dating these insecure dudes that's controlling you, that don't let you have no male friends. That's another conversation for another day. But stop dating insecure niggas, these lame ass weird niggas, just because they got money or because they're famous. But you can't talk to this guy. Like, stop doing that. And then also, ladies, to piggyback on what T and Rob said, and this from my mama and my grandma and my great grandma. My great grandma from the country, Bolton, Mississippi.
Hey, damn right.
Don't no man want no aggressive woman. No man wants an aggressive woman. If you dating a dude and you aggressive woman, and I don't care if you feel like I'm talking about you. If you're dating a dude and you're an aggressive woman, I'm not talking about a strong, independent black woman, but if you're an aggressive woman and you're dating a dude and he likes that, then y'all relationship is probably gonna fail. Because don't no dude want an aggressive woman. Every dude wants to marry or be in a committed relationship with a woman. I don't want to say that can bend, but that is soft.
Ooh,
I'm aggressive as my mate, then I will be dating dudes.
Hey, listen. You should have saw Jay Ward's face when you were saying that stuff, bro. I was looking at Jay Ward. He was squishing up and he was mad. Yeah, Dion, that's my nigga.
I just want to say, shout out to Dino and Dion, two of my neos, motherfucking 10s who come bring it every time they get on this thing, man. So they just made right. So I'm just saying. You know, I agree with Dino. I mean, what Dion is saying to a certain degree. And that's something that might need to be a whole topic, you know, about an aggressive woman, because and that's something that I was gonna say. As a man, you can't take masculinity from me. You can't take something that's inherently mine. So I'm not worried about a woman being overly aggressive or overly masculine, because you can't take what's mine to begin with. And I just feel like, you know, you be as aggressive as you want, or not as aggressive, but as masculine as you want. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be who, you know, shows and who inherently has that trait. I think Dion should be our youth correspondent, not youth, but our young person correspondent. He's the closest link that we have to the current college student, because we're old. We've been out of school for a long time. I think Swift is the youngest of us all. And I mean, I've been out of school for a minute now. So it's like, I can't connect to this new generation. I was hooping last night with some young cats that's in college, and I was like, I can't connect to y'all at all. This is a different generation altogether. So that's something that we should look into. I think one thing that I would say about that first topic that we talked about, I think women have a habit of thinking that a relationship is good because they're happy, but they don't think about, is the relationship good because you're happy? It's like, as long as they're good, the relationship's great. But they never think about, like, is he good? Like, am I addressing his needs? So I think that's something that we probably should continue to talk about, because, and maybe even have like a young lady or a woman on the show to give us their feedback on that, because it's just like, man, a lot of times it's just like, I'm happy, so everything must be good. But it's just like, my friend was telling me about his old lady asked him, "Are we in a rift? Are we in a rough patch?" He was like, "What? Where did this even come from? I've been doing good." So it's just like, a lot of times it's just all about how they feel and not necessarily how we feel. Other than that, like my good friend, he would say, everything else I said, what I said on that. PJ Washington, you got to be quicker than that. You got to be smarter than that. I hate that for him, but but I'm shocked that he's paying so much. But also, if you know anything about NBA contracts, he's still on his rookie contract. Once he signs his next contract, that's the big contract. I don't think she should get any more money once he signs his big contract.
Both of them. When he signs, she signs.
But I don't agree with that, because her lifestyle is not going to change because he's making more money. I don't agree with that. Like, you got him, so don't get more money once he signs his bigger contract. He's still on the rookie deal right now. Once he signed his $80 million contract, I don't think she should get an increase in what she gets from him.
What she did was she bought into the drop, just like you do when you get an investment. You buy the drop and wait until it go up. That's exactly what she did.
I was about to say, it ain't about what you think she should get. It's about what the judge think, dude.
That's true too. But Deanna Hackett said, "But do men know how to communicate their needs?"
No, we do that every.
Get us in the after dark. Get us to the after dark.
Every Friday, Miss Hackett. So please do not jump on that high horse and say, do men know how to communicate their needs, when we've been doing this for over a year now. So definitely hit us with another one.
Get us to the after dark, Swift. I'll answer.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. I want to first thank everyone for coming on. Everyone. I may have to do another link for After Dark. I don't know if we want to do the same Facebook link. This might need to be something we don't record and put on Facebook. Because I just know, Lord have mercy. I think we're going to do, like, let them come into the room, give everybody the link that wants to participate. I think that may be the best way to do it.
Hey, tell everybody to send you their email who want to participate, then we'll go from there.
Send me the link.
It's going to be the same link. It's going to be the same link. So this is what we do. If you want to participate, request the link in the comments and we will message the link to you. We'll do it that way. That sound good, T? You muted. You might need to stay muted. You know what? Don't say nothing. You're right. So yeah, if you want the link, put in the comments that you want the link, and we'll take it from there. But I will say, you will need to come on either audio or visual. We need to hear you and we'll communicate. But once
we want visual. Forget audio. Hey, in order to be on After Dark, your visual must work.
I want to thank everyone for coming on. We will see y'all next Friday. We are going strong. We've been going weekly since the last couple of breaks, and we don't plan on having those breaks anymore anytime soon. We get into the swing of things. School started for everybody. We need this release. So, except when football season started, maybe something different. But yeah, we'll talk about it. But thank you, everyone. We will see y'all next week. And everyone that said link, that should be in your messages soon once we hang up. So looking forward to seeing y'all soon. All right.
Hey, send me the link too.
You already own.
All right, my bad.
All right, later.